In 2016, bag designer Vera Bradley decided it was time for a brand reboot. They had been facing declining sales and needed to target millennials to expand their audience. In August 2016, they launched the It's Good to Be a Girl campaign, a fully integrated marketing campaign that spanned digital, social, experiential, and print. The initial reaction landed them on a couple of social media fails lists, and while I agree with that initial sentiment, the case is actually a good example of social listening because Vera Bradley pivoted in their copy to align more with their target audience. Let's take a look at the initial campaign, what went wrong, and how Vera Bradley fixed it. So, what was the intention of the campaign to begin with? The campaign was supposed to rebrand Vera Bradley and target millennials by celebrating women. The company developed the hashtag It's Good to Be a Girl and initially asked customers to tell them why it was good to be a girl. Those responses were then used to create copy for ads. So, what was so wrong with that? Unfortunately, the initial copy rang hollow for the target audience. Many of the statements were very 1950s-esque, a bit sexist, and generally degrading in the minds of their target audience. Vera Bradley was widely criticized across social media for the campaign being sexist and out of touch. Let's look at some examples. Here are two examples of the initial response on Instagram. One shows an ad on a subway talking about personal space with a comment about being accidentally felt up on the subway. Another talks about girly drinks with comments on stereotyping. Here are some initial responses from Twitter. Comments talk about the copy being out of touch and offensive, and that it's okay we have to deal with so many other things as women because we have girly drinks. One poster commented that the campaign was incredibly insulting to people of all genders. Here we have an example from Facebook and a couple of blogs. One Facebook commenter said it was offensive and assaulting and asked what year it was. On the right, you see a blog title from the creative blog stating that print posters are offensive and a common title found on blogs across the web. The blog post from Splinter notes that the ads were infantilizing and overwhelmingly gender normative. So what did Vera Bradley do in response to this feedback? Fortunately, they took action and changed their copy. They started posting quotes that were more empowering and less stereotypical. This response by the company is a good example of how to use social listening. They listened to what their target audience was saying and corrected course. How did consumers react to the change in copy? This copy solicited more likes and more positive comments than the previous copy and was much better received by the target audience. We saw quotes from celebrities that celebrated women, and the copy moved from using the word girl to woman, although the hashtag remained the same. Now that we have looked at this sentiment, let's move on to some hard data. This first table shows revenue and net income for Vera Bradley over 5 years. Unfortunately, the campaign did not increase the bottom line for Vera Bradley. Their revenues continued to decrease and net income continued to decrease until fiscal year 2019. The second table shows their social media reach over 3 years. The picture is different across social media channels. Vera Bradley has seen an increase in reach in all channels, most notably across Instagram. What is a comparable campaign we can look at? Vera Bradley wasn't the first company to launch a female empowerment social media campaign. The Always Like a Girl campaign sought to redefine the negative connotations associated with the phrase like a girl. They targeted a younger audience to boost confidence among an age group where confidence is often lost. Like Vera Bradley, always asked consumers to show themselves doing things like a girl. The campaign went viral with over 90 million video views, over 1 million shares, and extremely high engagement. The hashtag was found all over the internet as well as the real world and always saw a 96% positive sentiment. They even won an award in 2015 from the UN for their impact on female empowerment. While Vera Bradley saw a gradual increase in social media following from their campaign, always saw their Twitter following triple in 3 months and their YouTube subs increase over 4,000%. They also saw a 50% increase in purchase intent, while Vera Bradley continued to see declining sales. In conclusion, this campaign is a good example of social listening in action. Although it started off rocky, Vera Bradley was able to pivot and create a more powerful message. While the campaign eventually helped to grow their social media presence, it unfortunately did not help grow their bottom line. For this reason, I have to say the campaign was a wash. The goal of pulling in a new target audience to revive the brand just didn't pan out. Thanks for watching!